Jesus. Um. Uh. Is it working? Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. So I did my audio check. It should be okay. Let me do some music first, but they give me audio. Okay. It sounds okay to me. Alright, so welcome to what give me one hot second. Okay, so welcome back to Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth. Investigations Miles Edgeworth. My apologies for the pretty long break I took. I was kind of busy with work. I don't remember where we left off, in all honesty. So, oh yeah, I think I remember. We got off the plane, and people started investigating. I was gonna question Gumshoe over here. Since the last time, I saw someone followed me on Twitch. I'm not gonna say who it is for privacy's sake, but thank you for the follow. Yeah, let's continue. Just ship the body out to the coroner's office. Do I have water? I do. Okay. Now we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Franziska. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow when I got here, Mrs. Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something. I come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly and out of the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Mrs. Von Karma just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I know the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to you, detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation. Starting with talking to the people involved in this case afresh. What have you other planes? Have you never been to another country before, detective? Nope, not yet. I don't even have a passport. Spend an individual someday, a penny a day to be precise. I hope my chat works. I should test it out. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it does. Okay. So does Twitch, I hope? Yeah. Alright. So while after retirement... Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man before. In Soviet Russia, world flag's lunchbox is EJ00. What? I'm not reading this. Of creative powers coming on. It's over 9,000. My next elite movie is gonna be the Steel Samurai Warrior of the Neo Old Tokyo versus the World Samurai Champion of Earth. It's gonna rock soar so many box sores. I don't know what that means. World Flag's lunchbox is only available for a limited time. What did he get? The Star Spangled Banner. This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. I'd be pretty scared too if I got in a murder investigation. I did it. I made the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. This life vest is proof I made it alive. It's now my prized possession. How could you take that from the plane? It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. It's got nothing to do with the murder, at least. Do I go back? Yeah. March 12th, 1:37 p.m. So you must be the captain. Why, yes I am, and who might you be? I'm the prodigy prosecutor, Franziska von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Ah, don't you dare, Captain, getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Cammy. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure you don't want to ask the captain some questions, sir? He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I like to leave that type of witness to Franziska and her whip. Yeah, she does seem pretty good at it. Okay. You got the whip. Now see here. Sorry, I'm so sorry. How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be criminal, I told you. Mr. LeBlanc. LeBlanc. Oh, it is you. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. Nah, you know what? You do you, boy. Did you finish taking his statement yet? Yep, all done, sir. I don't not concerned if you're done examining the cargo hold. I want my cargo back. If you make a single scratch on my art, you will pay. Art? What sort of art? Mr. LeBlanc is an art dealer, so he's got a bunch of artwork down in the cargo hold, sir. There's practically a mountain of them, large and small. From folk costumes to stone statues, I sell all kind of arts. Folk costumes. Speaking of which, Mr. LeBlanc's hat. It's kinda looks like that other piece of cloth. Yeah, I kinda forgot my evidence. Yeah, this. I should present that to him. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Borginian cloth. As I expected. Your head is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course. This fabric is so famous. Orders come from over the seas for more. Bloody cloth. Data updated in my organizer. Then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier. No. My cargo this time is much many gigantic. You detective. When can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of your police it is no good. And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room too. That attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Mr. Nero. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendant's room for her interview. And then they still have not come out. They make no signs of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Mr. Nero's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Mr. Nero. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight's attendant's room. Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have trickled. Wow. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. Miles Edgeworth. Franziska, the logic. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found. The only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. The likeliest suspect, Franziska. You have a problem with that? No, it is not like but it is not like you to use such vague wording. Usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, for I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I have to break your line of logic fast.
Hold it!
Don't you think you're being a bit too brash by simply declaring me the culprit? I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. Hey, you say like that we're cooking a pack of instant noodles. I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimonies to be uttered in my presence. I see, she hasn't changed a bit, but I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily.
Hold it!
So tell me, Franziska, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? And all that I need to know in order to arrest you, and nothing more? Are you saying there's more I need to know? Sorry, Scuffy, my hand must have slipped. It would appear that Franziska doesn't have all the facts of this case yet. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found.
Hold it!
What do you mean by seen? Please stop pretending you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 AM. And then, from the time after that call until the body was found. The only person...
Hold it!
While it is true that I was in the lounge the whole time, that fact alone does not predict me the criminal. We'll see soon enough the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time. This, the likely suspect, yes.
Hold it!
Mention the circumstances. I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect. Mrs. Von Karma's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. The new evidence that we acquired and where we acquired it. Take care of the gaps in her logic one hole at a time. Probably this.
Objection!
It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? What a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used the suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not in this lounge at all.
Objection!
Now, who's the one rashly jumping to conclusion? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That does not prove the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose a suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I suspected you would come to the conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. Avon Karma is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around at some point?
Objection!
As if there is proof of that. Where is the proof that the suitcase was moved around? Probably this. Yeah, those are track wheels, I think.
Take that!
They spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. Yes, and I'd like to draw your attention to this area here. Where is the evidence that proved the killer dragged the suitcase through here? Well, this.
Take that!
This mark here. Wouldn't you say it looks suspiciously like tracks from two wheels? I suppose. Further, there is also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means that the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose that this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear. Not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank from the plane hit the turbulence. Before the plane hit the turbulence, and then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then while you were in the elevator with the victim's body stuffed into the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and it flew out, and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for someone thing you thought of on the fly. Jesus, I really can't read. I haven't had much practice since the last time I streamed, I'll be honest. Give me a little bit. Just what are you insinuating? But I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong of a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop. You prepared your...
Hold it!
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank from out of its display case? As I recall, the case was locked. That's easy. If the case was locked, you simply had to hit the glass like this. You shattered my heart of glass. So she wants to talk about the in-flight shop and the Captain Hugo bag, does she? And then you waited for the victim in the lounge, where you beat him to death.
Hold it!
I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge. I thought you'd say that. What? Did you think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide the blood splattered in the lounge by accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it. You're accusing me of tampering with the crime scene now. We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that as we speak. And what do you suppose I did after that? Well, I mean, I could just present here the... Do I have the display? No. Can I show it to her?
Hold it!
So I put the victim's body into the suitcase and then... Where was I headed, Franziska? That's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to the first class where you could safely keep an eye on it. It's like... I was thinking about this thing, you know. I'd hardly call it discreet or ordinary. Annoying brat. A wrench was thrown into your plans because... The plane hit that patch of turbulence.
Hold it!
You've experienced turbulence on a flight before. Of course, many times. You get used to it after a while. The patch we hit was especially rough and I passed out briefly, but only for a second. Yes, indeed. Especially blanking out is exactly what got me into this mess in the first place. That's enough of your idle chatter. I'm not through with you yet, Miles Edgeworth. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you're taking it. If I really were the criminal, you really think I would be so easily caught? You're certainly in the middle of being caught right now.
Hold it!
I didn't pretend to do anything. I was just... The display case is not in my evidence. Nor the profile. Famous 6.
Hold it! Hold it!
Oh yeah.
Objection!
It said after the turbulence. The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal prowess is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic. Essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. And then what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Hugo piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder weapon. What? The timing of when the bank was taken from the shop is important. And it was sick. Message. Now the blood on the bag, what do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did 3 things after the turbulence. After exiting the elevator, the killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank from off the floor and took the fabricated fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was pointed on my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Ackby Hicks. You there? Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggyback, was there anything resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence. The remaining items all tested negative for any traces of blood. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears that your stall tactics are at an end. But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir. If the criminal had wanted to hide the weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside the suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence, which means that the real murder weapon is either still in the murderous personage, or is still at the real crime scene.
Objection!
There's one more possibility. Or would that be that the piggy bank is in fact the real murder weapon? But didn't we just... Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock of the display case door. And it was at that time the glass pane in the door was broken. Say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see, so that means the killer had the key to the display case, Franziska, the person you're talking about. Not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is a sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wished to speak with her. Yes. Very well, permission granted. But only if I can sit in on your interrogation. What? Interrogation. I don't know why I can't speak. No intention of interrogating her. You're welcome to accompany me if you wish. So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Mr. Nero. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too? Can you please help us and shed some light on what you did? What you did? Alright. What is all this junk inside these boxes? There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. That's for lost and found, Mr. Edgeworth. Gold crowns and swords and necklaces. It's like a treasure trove in here. The fact that these were left on the plane implies they were carried onto it to begin with. Something tells me it's time for Goyu to send its metal detectors out for repairs. And then water inside these boxes. Souvenir. Even that folk art from around the world does great things for my creativity. It's one of those suitcases that I'm missed an arrow, so it's hardly ever used by the lack of even a single scratch on it. So those are Antenna's locker, huh? That must not always be so crude. Give you permission to search through the Antenna's lockers. What exactly is this panel for? Oh, that's emergency control panel for the elevator. We use it to stop the elevator on the first floor and keep its door open. Keep its doors open. It's pretty easy to tell who sleeps in which bunk just by looking. I'm almost certain that the well-kept one up top belongs to Mr. Nero. Their privacy? There should be a clue somewhere in this trash can. This door leads to the cargo hold, but I can't let you through without Ms. Von Karma's express permission. So between you and Ms. Von Karma, who's better at their job? There's no comparison to be made, Detective. None. Of course. I wrangled many a testimonial of people attached to it. Don't know yet. I'm willing to bet that the majority of them came from you, Detective. Why did you lie about receiving the Captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? The Captain, he only has the ears for Cammy. I spoke with the Captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Mew. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Mr. Nero, is it? There is one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. Why were you there? Well, all I did was go check out the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop. I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. But your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much more to tell. There's no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. You could please take a look at this, Mr. Nero. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about this suitcase. You're the one who designed it, correct? And I think I figured something else about it. The suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about the suitcase? Yes, I will. I was interested in seeing how the suitcases I had designed were selling. My dogs are barking. Give me 1 second. My dogs are barking. My apologies, I am back. Okay. Oh boy. But I really wanted to know, and I was glad to see that it was the last one here. The last one there. The last suitcase. So you're saying, Mr. Nerlo, that the suitcase in the question was the last one? Yes. They're just so popular, they're practically flying off the shelves. That's not exactly the impression I got. The one in the shop is most definitely the last one. Well, we're currently looking at the suitcase. Really. And I guess we sold all of them. Thank you very much for taking the last one. I didn't say anything about buying it. I say you'll buy it. I'm sorry, I can't. I think it'd go great with your complexion, Miss Edgeworth. It really suits you. I guarantee it personally as a service professional. So how should I put it? It's hideous. Maybe that was a bit too direct. Moving on. My issue with this suitcase isn't the design, it's the number of them remaining. Remaining? There were 2 suitcases in the in-flight shop when I investigated it. 2? But that's impossible. I'm sure there was only 1. Looks like your story has generated quite the contradiction. When I left the shop, I'm positive there was only 1 suitcase left. Something is amiss here. What could be the meaning of this inconsistency? By the way, Mr. Nero, what is one of those suitcases doing there? I thought you said that there was only 1 left. That one is, it's mine. I've used it for a very long time now. She used it for a long time, I think not. Mr. Nero, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't lie to me. Excuse me? I don't believe in for a second you've used this for a very long time. Price tag is still there. Tell me, Mr. Nero, is it also your habit to keep the price tag pristine on your suitcase? What is the meaning of this? Why would you lie about the suitcase? Despite having faith in her design sense. The sales numbers made her cry bitter tears. The truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Listen, I think I understand. I know what you're trying to hide. Now then, this suitcase was originally in... Seeing as how the price tag is still on the suitcase, it was out on the floor sales in the shop. The person who bought this suitcase was... probably him, no?
Take that!
Nope. Probably herself.
Take that!
It was you, wasn't it, Mr. Nero? To say that it was suitcase that you designed. It hasn't sold very well, has it? You saw how poorly this design that you poured your heart into was selling. You were deeply hurt. That's why you wanted to make it look like it was selling by buying it yourself. Isn't that right? And the reason you went to the shop and came back here was... all the reason I have is my job. I was overjoyed when the design was chosen. Thought that maybe I had finally accomplished something. The suitcase is the insult. Because the design is in it. All because it's as you put it, hideous. I can't say they chose a great place in which to sell them either. We weren't selling a single one. They were just sitting there collecting dust. I felt so bad seeing them there, day in and day out. So I decided to buy one for every flight I worked. Buy one for every single time you work at flight. I see, so in order to keep your resolution, you went and bought one today as well. Yes, and here's my receipt from that purchase. This receipt is clearly stamped 5:40 AM. The truth is, there's still a bunch of them left unsold. They're planning to scrap the remaining one at the end of this flight. Where are these other suitcases? They should all be down in the cargo hold. And the suitcase the killer used could very well have come from the cargo hold. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't think that the killer used one of the suitcases too? Yes, I do. The killer used one of his beloved suitcases to move the victim's body. How could they? Those suitcases were meant to be faithful partners to our passengers on their trip. That's how I ever wished for them to be. Mr. Nero, is there any other way to get to the cargo hold other than the elevator? The only other way is just to the door here. What about security? The door has no special lock installed, of course. Just to enter this room, you need a special key. That door has no special lock installed because just to enter this room, you need a special key card that only crew members have access to. Which means that the culprit is someone who can enter this room, eliminating the passengers and leaving only crew members as potential suspects. I can't believe it. Franziska. Going on these wild goose chases, you're a disgrace to the Von Karma name. And what do you mean by that? That suitcase came from the cargo hold. That fact alone tells us the whole story. Yes, which is why I said the culprit must be a crew member who used their key card. Moss Edgeworth, you're proposing the killer rode the elevator from the cargo hold, correct? Yes, that's the only realistic possibility. That other attendant, Mrs. Meal. I asked her earlier, and she had this to say. Franziska got information out of Mrs. Meal. In order to make the elevator go down to the cargo hold, a different key card is required. A different one. Yes, and the only person who holds that particular card is you, Miss Rhoda Tenero, and only you. What? Is this room, Miss Tenero? Yes, I keep that key card in my locker at all time. Would you please show us that card right now? Yes, hold on. I don't believe it. What's wrong? The key card. It's gone. It's not like that. You can tell us all. You can tell us all about what it's down at the station. Officer, arrest this woman. Yes, man. Mr. Edgeworth. What's wrong? There's disbelief written all over your face. Franziska, I know you're the lead investigator in this case, however. Hold it. Don't even think about wasting any more of my time. You know the rules as well as I do. Evidence speaks louder than words. Even if this isn't a courtroom, that basic tenet still applies. I intend to investigate the cargo hold now. What will you do, Miles Edgeworth? I intend to do likewise. Yes. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? It's so big. This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and an ultra luxurious first class seating. So this is the real scene of the murder. So is this the real scene of the murder? There is certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's Let's get investigating, sir. Oh, I just love pushing the buttons on elevators and crosswalk signals. You should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. The elevator is currently stopped in its first way detective. It can't move. Oh yeah. I guess nothing would happen if you pushed it now. Well, nothing would happen normally anyway, without the special keycard. Both the door in the attendant's room and the elevator's control panels require a keycard, which makes it impossible for his passenger to come down here. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair. These must be all the left ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company is wanting to dispose of after the flight is over. This paint job is really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy. Oh, why not purchase one then? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness. You think so? Then maybe I will. Let's see. $1,200. I think I'll pass. And Mr. Nero wonders why they don't sell. You need 2 jobs just to buy one. Although it definitely looks like one is missing. What's this brittle substance I'm stepping on? A bunch of glass fragments? You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And then you immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Yes, I was. Why this airport? I've been following a very large and involved governmental level international crime. It is much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Interpol is involved. It's a top secret operation, so I really can't tell you more than I already have. All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable, and this one it says pharmaceuticals. And this one says for exorcism use only. Just what kind of operation is this airline running? Hey man, have you noticed anything strange happening around here? No sir, haven't noticed a thing. I'm not sure what he meant. She sounds so oblivious. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So the suitcase belongs to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we take a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait, a file. There's a photo of Mrs. Von Karma in it, sir. Looks like her profile on Franziska. Why would Mr. Hicks have a file on her? Well, they probably go together. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. The victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his broken glasses lenses. There we go. The victim was here, just as I suspected. So we're saying, the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Was that guy Interpol? Keeping on track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. This sure brings back memories from when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. No matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. I didn't know that this plane was capable of carrying such large pieces of cargo. This thing's as tall as 2 of you on top of each other, sir. It would probably take 20 of you to cover the entire surfaces of this monstrosity. What, really? Okay. Didn't tell us about buying her own suitcase? Yes, however, in regard to the key card being stolen, I can't find any evidence that she's lying about that. I'm pretty sure the guy was in Japan. Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Franziska? Oh, I know. I bet he's a big fan of Mrs. Von Karma, sir. Franziska said she had to come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was in actuality Interpol agent Hicks. I think Franziska has some explaining to do. I'll play for how long have we been streaming for? A little less than an hour, 59 minutes. I need to leave in about 30 minutes because I have other matters to attend to. Yeah, let's continue. Holy shit. Hey, I'm back. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense, what are you talking about? We found a profile telling information about you in the victim's luggage. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol agent Hicks, isn't that correct? I should have known you'd figured it out, Mouse. You'd figure it out, Mouse. It looks like they got him first. They got to him first. So he really did come here to receive an Interpol agent then? Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. Smuggling, you say? He went undercover to investigate this crime. And it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he has landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have a pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here on to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Agent Hicks came here for work-related reasons. Of that I'm sure of. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Franziska, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No, unfortunately I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see, but this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a murderer, to a member of the crew, and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then, the killer put Agent Hicks on one of the spare suitcases, and they entered the elevator. But while they were riding it up, the plane hit a patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open, and Agent Hicks's body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. I'm really not used to talking this much. I'm usually pretty reserved, I guess. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really, sir? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Mrs. Rhoda Tenero. If it was a crew member, any of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the keycard that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. That's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain that it's as simple as that.
Hold it!
That might be true, but then it could be anyone, including Mrs. Meal or even the captain. Don't be a fool. A plane without a pilot in the cockpit is like a horse without a rider. Prop in hand, much like Scruffy over here. I can disagree with her on that. Detective Genshu does always need a guiding hand. Very well. And what about the other flight attendant, Mrs. Meal? I thought you might ask about her.
Hold it!
But it's highly likely the kicker was stolen from Mr. Meal. It's highly likely. Is that possibly the best you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my father. Yes, well, I don't have evidence, We're talking about the murder weapon, Captain Yugo Piggybank. She's also the only person with the key to open the display case. But we know it fell out of the display case, not in. Well, not like it was broken in. Further, there is the matter of the key to the display case that held the murderous bank. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda. Oh wait, I forgot.
Hold it! Objection!
But that is fake. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep insisting that it's fake, then where's the real murder weapon? And where did it go? There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon? Oh. Probably the body. There's no judgment. You can see if the wound on Mr. Hicks's head is consistent with a murder weapon. We've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth. They're still doing the autopsy, but they said they already know this one thing for sure. Report now. The doc said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his middle back. The victim's shoulder to his mid-back, he was beaten over such a wide area? What? Say, maybe it's a sign the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head, the killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. What is had a grudge against him supposed to mean? Oh, that's Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, detective? Oh well, they said they were still looking into that, sir. Completely useless. Yep. Remove yourself from my way. My luggage, my cargo, they're all mine, and demand you return them to me. We're still investigation the cargo hold. Please understand and have a little patience. You have left me no choice but to use strong force. The fuck? And you consider the real weapon to hold. The dog said that it's one giant bruise and bleeding from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Probably these two, because he probably fell down the stairs. Okay, no. Probably this and this then. Nope. What? Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there is extensive bruising over such a wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggyback is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. If we're looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out, but so far we haven't found anything of resemblance. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. Because normally it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Franziska! What? What do you want? Found it, Franziska, the real murder weapon. You did? We didn't realize it until now, but the answer is in front of us the whole time. Habit of whipping everyone she comes across. We really are particular to do. I don't have evidence to show, it's right there. I don't have any evidence to show you. I don't have anything to show. Perhaps I should have heard it. That which caused Mr. Hicks's death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I figured out what the real cause of death was. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. The victim has extensive bruising on his back, to his head and to his back. The only rational explanation to these injuries is he fell to his death. But the murder happened in this plane, I know. Are we claiming that there's some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time. From the top of the stairs to this very cargo hold. Hey you, tell me you're undead, pal. He's alive. No, that is not possible given the current circumstances. What is that supposed to mean? Suppose that a large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? He would have been a Borginian pancake for sure. Suppose that man over there would still be breathing. But the reality is the cargo box is there. So there is no point entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios. We're here now, but there's no proof that it was always there. As if there could have been a window of time where the giant box was not there, but there was. When they came to the transfer point.
Take that!
You were in the Republic of Zangfa. Yes, this flight has a short layover in Zangfa in order to refuel, but that wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at the time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Genekis could have fallen to his death entirely possible. Allow me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. My first order is to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. Alifred statue. Never heard of it. Nor I, but all I care about is who can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. I do not go about touching my possessions without my permission. Twitch. Let me ban that. Keeping track of this many piece of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc. Yes, of course it's mine. I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This alley for a century is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents? It's hard to stop trying to calculate how many packets of poodle that makes us detective. I keep getting better, I'm seeing it right through me. The distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. That in euros and dollars. Chance that your cargo is related to a murder case. Good job, officer. Mr. LeBlanc is certainly not an easy person to hold back. No thanks necessary, sir. It's all part of their job, even if it did eventually get by. I have a few things to ask him anyways, but worked out in favor this time. Here's the sentiment, however, can't people get hurt on the job either. Yeah, is that smuggling? If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, it's possible this fake statue was bought and brought aboard on in Zengfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. What about your statue, Mr. LeBlanc? I wonder if it might be a fake. I know you say my art is fake. I suspect that your statue might be a target of an international smuggling ring. Don't say such fantastical thing. Those thieves were not there. The certification of my cargo right here. In the cargo certification document. Mr. Zinc LeBlanc. Why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say? It says, plain as lead, the cargo was put on the plane in Europe. But okay. Wait, what? Wish me there was a window of time and statue wasn't sitting here. I respectfully disagree. We can't discount the theory until we see this. I see the statue for myself. Have a look at yourself and see if I'm right. This, I know I've seen this somewhere before. I brought this country to exhibit it. Or it's his country to exhibit it. I believe a closer look is warranted here. So this is the famous Elifred statue. Hmm? Is it? Yeah, it is. Did you find something? Oh wait. I know. The eyes. Yeah, should be red. These eyes are fully orange, don't you think? Yeah, and pretty. They remind me of sunset when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do, but it's really like the color of the sun when setting, sir. Okay, I'm not reading that. I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo? Huh? They're red. As I thought, this statue is fake. Mr. LeBlanc, what do you want? Do you not know I'm a busy man? I'll have 2 seconds for your answer. The other Fred, I suppose it's your pride and joy, is it not? Your biggest trophy in this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess the statue? 3 years to 17 years ago. I regret to inform you and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but... You see, I'd like you to compare the eyes. A large fellow there was very big and pretty eyes compared to you. There's a statue in front of one of this photo. Displayed at the museum in Europe. How do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. I believe that even further examination will be required. Not that we confirm this is indeed a fake. There must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Zangfa. There's this. Statue looks like stepping on his neighbor's cloth cover. It resembles its owner's attitude in a sense. What do you have here? It says Zangfei pressed on the cloth. It's stuck on the corner of my mind. Something out of place. They probably swapped the cloths. But how do I prove that? How do I prove that? Uh, hmm. Stuck in the corner of my mind. Is there something is out of place? Mm. Maybe this? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Um. I have no clue. Maybe this? I don't.
Eureka!
Something tugging. This? I have no clue. Uh, Something is tugging on the corner of my mind as though something is out of place. Something is out of place. Something out of place. Yeah, it shouldn't be for too deep in. Then I don't really try that though. That should be further out.
Eureka!
I don't know how to prove my point.
Eureka!
There's clearly a contradiction here. Okay. Cargo over getting stuck under another piece of cargo. That's impossible, but it is. Shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zingfa. There's no other way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe. Which means this fake statue was smuggled on board in Zingfa. What about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about the Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There's only one reason why, to secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight. You say, but I don't believe he had to do it in that flight. When he had to do that mid-flight, he could have easily inspected all the cargo after the plane landed. Backward, Francesca. Waited until after the plane had landed, but they had a reason cutting down the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport, it would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall into the statue's owner, who would have no way to prove the statue was swished without his knowledge. Someone involved, though, is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Thank God I'm getting back on HP. Yeah, so if I could have been one simple souvenir, that's taken to be used as a reference document later on. Prove that the smuggling had taken place. To take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. The piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zangfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe Zangfa leg for the trip, there would have been enough height for each officer. Move the statue immediately. The thorough examination of the floor underneath now. There's one karma. Was a reaction. Stop looking at it now, sir? Deductions were correct after all. Suppose it would appear that way. Could we clean the blood up well? How do you think the killer did that? How did the killer clean the blood? Oh, this.
Take that!
Cargo crew would have discovered during the layover. I guess they're saying the murder happened before the plane landed in Zangfa? If the murder occurred before we landed in Zangfa, then this becomes highly suspect. I don't remember anyone's testimony. I do not remember anybody's testimony. There's no other concealed time of the events of the murder. If that's the truth, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. I'll just say Mrs. Meal. Mrs. Mill doesn't know Agent Hicks in regards to when he deported Zephyr. Oh yeah. She claims that Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but she contradicts the fact. I think the only person who can answer that is Mrs. Mueller herself. Perfect. Alright, I'll save. And that marks the end for me today. It was a good stream, we did good progress. I need to go now. So, see you next time. Like always, the VODs will be up on YouTube. The link is in my, if you're watching on Twitch, the link is in the description. And